What up, what up, what up, folks? How you living, how you feeling out there? Welcome back to the show. Once again, it's your boy Emilio Weckbar. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune in here to yet another episode of this show. And if you haven't done so yet, folks, be sure to hit me up on Twitter. You can get at me on my personal Twitter account at the Emilio Weckbar. Or for those of y'all that like to be on the gram more than you like being on Twitter, follow us on IG at EJP_entertainment to stay up to date with everything related to EJP Entertainment, folks. And once again here at this point of the show, you know we are joined by our special guest, man. And this guy right here is definitely no stranger to the platform. It's been a hot minute since the last time we linked up and we had a conversation with one another. And I know a lot of things has transpired and happened ever since then, man. So I'm definitely delighted to have this young man come back and join us once again. And we got to make sure we do this more often, man. We can't go like a span of 5 years in between from the last time this man was on the platform and all that. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to reintroduce to you and introduce to some of y'all for the first time here, my man King Shampz. So Shampz, what's good, brother?
What's up, bro? What's up, man? You 100% accurate, man. We got to do this more often, man. It's been a lot of shit going on, and I'm trying to get back in my interview bag. You know what I mean? I've been doing a lot of them, and then I took a break out just to work on music and everything, man. But you know, we back, man. We back.
That's all it is, man. And everybody out there, my man King Shampz comes to you by way of West Philly, representing Dead Wrong Records and all that good stuff, man. And from all of y'all out there that know from the earlier days of this show, we've had him featured here on the show back in, I think it was 2017 the last time you and I did an interview. So. Yeah, man, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute for sure, man. That's why when I reached out to you, I was like, yo, I gotta holler at bro, man. I said it's been a minute, and I see you've been growing the platform, and that's always a blessing to see that. So congrats to you for that. And I just wanted to kind of come through and show love, man, for sure. It's been a long time.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. I was starting to think y'all forgot about niggas over here, man. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, everybody out there grinding, everybody done moved on and forgot about the boy over here, man. But I'm like, yo, it's all good. It's good to see you doing your thing, man. I'm definitely, proud to see that you're still rocking, you're still doing your thing, man, because I know this music industry shit can get real hectic at times, and sometimes it can get real discouraging at some points, man. So, I'm definitely happy to see that you're doing your thing. You're still growing your listeners. You're still growing your fan base and all that good stuff, man. So, congrats to you and all that.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that, man. And ain't nobody forget, man. You know how the grind be, man. With this shit, you got to have tunnel vision. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, sometimes some people may not get a chance to show that appreciation, to reach out and do all of those different things. But whenever I see my people winning and I could go in here and reach out to them, just like I reached out to you a couple days ago, and here we are, like, that's real love right there, man. So again, I appreciate you letting me share the platform with you once again.
Oh, absolutely, man. I was only kidding with you when I said that, man, because I already
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Nah, I get it, for sure. This shit wild out here. Yeah. It ain't no joke, for sure.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, a lot of people out there, they're probably inquiring about how was it that we was able to link up once again and have this conversation here today. And it actually got started from a tweet that you put out there a couple of days ago. Me and you had a nice little, discussion in terms of that tweet and all that good stuff, man. So if you care to elaborate a little bit on that one, man, please, the floor is all yours.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We were on Twitter, and I kind of was just venting in a way because I get so tired of seeing different platforms on Twitter, different platforms such as Instagram and TikTok or whatever you use, bigging up artists that don't really need your support right now. And don't get me wrong, if this is your favorite artist, support them. I have favorite artists as well. Everybody does. But it's so many talented artists in any genre. Not only hip-hop, but R&B, reggae, you know what I mean? Whatever's going on out here in the streets, drill music is cracking right now. So you got so many different talented artists. I'm like, damn, y'all run polls on this artist and run polls on that artist, and you're not really giving the attention to somebody who needs it. somebody who needs that kind of support. You know what I mean? I was talking about streaming as well, you know, and it kind of opened up a discussion. My notifications was going crazy that day, but it opened up a discussion where as though it's something that I feel people kind of gloss over in a way where they try to act like that's not like a real thing. And I'm like, bro, like just because you got certain artists that can get interviews or get played on the radio all the time, that's cool, but they still need more exposure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we're going to sit here and talk about Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye and fucking Jay-Z and, you know, these niggas is legends and on. They don't like need no retweets from you. Puff Daddy don't need a retweet from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, these other artists, you know, brothers and sisters is out here grinding and really got talent, dude. So I just was kind of like saying that a lot of artists and a lot of people was agreeing, and then that's when me and you were having our dialogue on there as well.
You know, you raised two very interesting points, because this is something that I kind of, you know, echo the same sentiment when it comes to the amount of platforms that show support to, like you said, people that don't really need the support. You know, and this is something I've had back and forth with people, mostly my brother, because me and him, we like hardcore hip hop heads. So like we always sitting there and we having these conversations about, you know, new school versus old school and stuff like that. And this always comes up, and I'm always saying, like, guys like Jay-Z, Nas, and all these guys that already solidified their spots and already paved the way for, you know, the up and coming people behind them, they don't really need the whole support system that a lot of these new artists out here need. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, when it goes back to it, I always like to reference that point as the reason why I started this platform, because as an artist myself, I understood that, you know, there's not very many places or platforms that are willing to take chances on up and coming artists and talent and stuff like that. And a lot of these guys get looked over, and then you listen to a lot of these mainstream platforms, and that's all they're doing is playing what they feel as though is popular music, and not giving an opportunity to a King Shampz or to a Duck City Music or to any countless other artists that have come across this platform, not really giving them the opportunity. And I feel like that's not fair, even though I'm not telling them how they should, you know, conduct their platforms or whatever the case may be. But I'm like, this is how the world stays so closed-minded to a lot of the new talent, because a lot of people out there is scared to take a chance and play somebody's music that somebody may not have heard of before. You never know, you breaking an artist that might make them, you know, become a household name, and the next thing you know, they're looking for your platform for, you know, new artists and new talent. So I agree with you with what you're saying in that sentiment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, these guys are already established. The fuck Michael Jackson need a tweet for? Like, unless, I mean, you a fan, ain't nothing wrong with that, but like, these motherfuckers are established artists. I mean, I could keep naming more and more, but I think that the point is being made that, hey, these artists need opportunities. You need an opportunity for your platform as well. You're putting together incredible work, and the thing is, I feel like, not only as an artist, but like, you know, building a platform, and so many different platforms that should get the looks, but it's a lot of bullshit clouding it. There's a lot of bias and shit clouding it. And that's what I see. I see a lot of the DJs doing it. I see a lot of the people in hip hop especially doing it, where it's like, damn, y'all motherfuckers got 9 or 10 of y'all friends on, and this nigga, he wasn't hot back in the day. So you putting them on 9 different spots on the playlist not going to help this nigga. Like, it's not going to help him, because the thing is, in this thing, you either have it or you don't. It just is what it is. Talent is talent. Of course, we can talk about untalented people that get marketed, but that's a whole nother discussion. But sticking to the script, it's so many talented folks where we have to constantly deal with bias because of the powers that be, different figurehead motherfuckers in the way. And I'm glad that we're doing what we're doing, because we have to start a musical revolution in a way where it's like, hey, we have to control the narrative. We have to make sure that we're pushing our product out here. And if you're a fan of hip hop, support. Don't pop that shit and don't support, because as much as a Griselda is getting supported right now, they could use more support. Why aren't they getting gold and platinums? Do y'all really fuck with these artists the way you say that you do? You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy in there, and it just kind of riled me up because as an artist, of course, I've been blessed to have a lot of different opportunities get on the table for me and my label, Dear Wrong Records. We've had a lot of different opportunities that are coming across the table now that's going to help us and solidify us. But motherfuckers is still grinding still, and I still see a lot of brothers and sisters just like me that's on the grind, on the come up, and y'all not supporting them the way y'all should be supporting them. And I feel like we have to keep calling it out until something changes.
I totally agree with you on that one. And a little flip side to the coin, just, you know, to play devil's advocate here, you know, also, you know, the other part of that conversation that we had too, I also mentioned that, you know, it's also up to a lot of these artists that see these platforms out here willing to give you an opportunity. You had to be willing to take a chance on the platform as well. Just like the platform has to be willing to take a chance on the artist, the artist also got to be able to do the same. You know, you get a lot of people out there, you know, they come across a platform like mine or other platforms that are genuinely out here for the purpose of giving them a good look and pushing their music and helping them, you know, build up their listeners and all that. But they won't take it as serious as, say, like if a Hot 97 come calling, or if a Power 99 come calling, or any of these like major mainstream platforms. And I understand why and I get it, but you got to also understand you got a lot of people out here that got platforms for you to utilize. You just got to, you know, take advantage of the opportunity, and you got to learn how to parlay it into bigger opportunities. You know, I've heard stories from some very popular, you know, artists such as Cardi B and some of the other ones who their story is they come in, they take advantage of these platforms, and they whole thing is to roll it into, you know, bigger opportunities. But a lot of people think that, you know, as soon as you step out there, you know, you step off the porch, you gotta automatically get in the street and do what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta walk on that sidewalk a little bit first before you can get ready to cross over and get into that street. You know what I mean?
100%. I'm in total agreement with you, and that's something that I constantly preach to artists that I come across. They're like, well, damn, you know, Shampz, you done got played on, you know, Hot 97 before. You done got played on, you know, DJ Premier, DJ Eclipse, all of these different mugs. Shout out to Soul Assassins. Overseas, a bunch of FM radio play. You got on all of this shit, but you still do this interview over here. You'll still do this interview over here. And I say, well, first and foremost, I'm going to keep it 100. The only way a lot of these motherfucking top motherfuckers to start fucking with you is when your name start getting built up. Mm-hmm. How do you build your name up? Like you said, coming to these platforms, because this is the thing. These platforms, to me, are realer than those platforms, and I'm going to tell you why. It's an authenticity thing, and it's a genuine thing when me and you are having a conversation, because you really want to see me win. It's not that you came across me on some viral shit and it's like, all right, out of the industry niggas, I'm gonna be the first industry nigga to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And to try to shit on these platforms that's literally going to play your music, that's literally going to give you an interview and give you a chance, you're fucking up all kinds of opportunities, because your network is your network. Networking is extremely important. You don't know who the fuck know who. But because you being a dickhead as an artist and thinking that your shit don't stink, now you in trouble.
Yeah.
You done put yourself in a position to lose, because you're looking at it like you said, oh, this platform ain't, you know, the Breakfast Club or Flex or whoever. Nah, it's not. But it's a platform still. Right. And a lot of artists need to get their interview game up, being able to conduct interviews, being able to give good interviews. This is where it starts. Like you said, it was a brilliant analogy. You said, what did you say? You got to walk that sidewalk sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to. You have to, because the thing is it's just like with anything. In basketball, you got to go from, you know, high school to college to the pros. You don't go from middle school to the pros. Those is grown ass men.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a little different for you if you start jumping these steps, and a lot of artists don't realize that. So you're 100% accurate with that, bro.
Oh man. And let me tell you, man, there's been plenty of times, like, you know, I listen to some of these artists that go on these bigger platforms, and I just like, I just say to myself, I'm like, you can tell you don't have any real media training. Like, you take this as if you're talking to some random regular on the street or whatever the case may be, and sometimes the interview comes out whack. You know, there's been plenty of times I've had people come on this platform, and I'm not going to say any names, but there's been plenty of people I've had come on this platform and it's just like, all right, you can't find no way to be a little more interesting than this, and just giving me one word answers or acting like you're not engaged with the whole conversation. Sometimes, you like you said, sometimes you gotta come to these platforms to get your media game up, to be able to give and hold a good interview and conduct yourself as a professional artist will be. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't always think that you're going to be a Kobe Bryant and go straight from high school to the league, because it doesn't happen like that for all of them. You know, some of the greatest basketball players, just to make this analogy, some of the greatest basketball players in NBA history got drafted in the second round or went undrafted and became Hall of Famers. So, you got to take that chance and go through the steps like you said.
100. I can't agree with you more, because as an artist, it's no use in you coming up here acting like this platform is doing you a favor when they're too cool for school shit. I feel like that's mad goofy.
Yeah.
It always has been goofy to me, because it's like this person, he or she, is giving you an opportunity to go in and hit and promote your brand, and then you can help them promote their brand as well. It's not just a give shit, take shit. You know what I mean? You got to be able to give something and help someone in order to go in here and receive that help too. You got to look at shit a little bit deeper. And as far as the media training thing goes, that's 100% too, bro. Because the thing is, if you don't know how to conduct an interview, if you don't know how to present yourself or present your product, now how do you think you're going to succeed? Nobody is going to. And I think that's the thing. I think more in this generation, just in our generation, growing up, I feel like motherfuckers think that you being like, on some too cool for school shit, I'm just gonna act like, I'm the waviest nigga alive type shit, is some cool shit. That shit cool up to a point until your pockets is hurting, nigga. No, I'm hype about what I'm doing. The fuck? I'm hype about what I'm doing. Yeah, nigga, I'm King Shampz, Dead Wrong Records, West Philly in the motherfucking house. We're going to put this together because we're in the entertainment business. Nigga, if you want to be quiet, go be a mom, nigga.
I agree. And you know what they say, man, you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, man. So sometimes you gotta take those opportunities, man. Humble yourself and just take advantage of any opportunity, no matter how great or how small it is. Just take advantage of it, because like you said, you never know who's in that audience listening to whatever platform. You can have A&Rs right now sitting here listening to this interview. You can have record executives, sitting here listening to this interview. You never know who's going to be in that audience of whatever platform you go on to. So you want to go in there like this is the biggest opportunity. Approach every situation that way, because you never know how far that's going to take you if you go and you act like you're really, genuinely thankful for the opportunity. Because like you said, this isn't some kind of hobby. This thing, it takes a lot of time and effort and money to conduct these types of platforms and stuff like that too. So when you doing all that, and then you got artists that come up here and they don't really appreciate the opportunity that's given to them, and it's kind of like, all right, so what is the purpose of me doing this if only thing you think you're going to do is you're going to blow up off of a Spotify playlist?
Yeah, like that's not making any sense to me. Being an artist and promoting, Dead Wrong Records and doing countless interviews and doing all of these different things, what I realized is the best thing about being an artist is pushing your brand and showing the world your product. You put in a lot of work, you put in a lot of time, you put in a lot of effort to put your shit out. Why all of a sudden now, if you put in all of this work, you're going to be too cool for school? Nah, fuck that. We're going to promote. I love this little clip, and I'm pretty sure you saw it with Tyler, the Creator, going around, where he was talking about promoting your shit and putting your shit out there. And, I thought that it was a great statement, and I feel like a lot of people can follow suit, because it's like, yo, push your shit. Push your shit and respect your shit, and then respect the people that are allowing you to do it. You know what I mean? Establish relationships. Like I said, again, I can't tell artists enough. Your network is your network. It is, because this game, as well as in this industry, this shit ain't what you know, is who you know.
That's a fact.
That's what this shit is about. So you have to be able to establish relationships. Don't be a dickhead and play yourself out of position. Because then when you play yourself out of position, just like in this industry, motherfuckers will blackball you.
That's true.
Motherfuckers will throw you to the wayside. You think, oh, this the little platform now, to all the little platforms get together and keep you out.
That's true. And I tell you, man, this is, a little secret for all of y'all out there who's listening to this interview right now. Us platforms, we run pretty much in the same circles, or we are at least connected to each other in some way. So you get word from one platform saying that this person is an asshole, you shouldn't really fuck with them. Trust me, word gets around quick. And I say this a lot all the time, like, yo, this shit ain't as big as a lot of people may think it is, man. So you definitely want to be careful of the way you conduct yourself when you're going to establish these relationships with people, because you don't ever know who knows who. And trust me, a lot of people talk in this business, so you definitely got to be mindful of that.
100. Don't put your ass in the sling, Jack.
No doubt, man. But I do thank you for taking the time to elaborate on that particular dialogue you and I had between us on Twitter, a couple of days ago, because I feel like that was something that was really important that we needed to speak on, because a lot of people out there seem to not understand what it means. And then when you got a lot of people out there that just reading tweets or they're reading text on the screen or whatever, they don't always get the full context of it. So I definitely thank you for taking the time out to elaborate and expand on that one. But with that being said, expanding more now on Dead Wrong Records, we know you've been established way before 2017, but that was the first time when me and you first linked up on this platform and everything. And what has been going on with Dead Wrong Records ever since then, man? So like, what is King Shampz up to these days?
Oh man, it has been a while, right?
Yeah.
It definitely has been a minute. We've been putting together an empire, man. And I say that with full sincerity and full confidence. We've been putting together an incredible roster of artists. We still have a lot of the artists, Black Frio, Rise on the label as well. Rest in peace to my cousin Caution. He had passed during that time. So we definitely are putting a lot of emphasis on this movement and label and doing it for him. He's definitely a motivation. And we've been pushing, man. We've been lining a lot of shit up. We had dropped our project Dawn of the Dead in 2020, 2021. That project is still growing legs, even now. So that's a blessing. And we've been just dropping, dropping singles. I got 2 legit out on our SoundCloud page. If you guys want to check that out, that's at Dead Wrong Records on SoundCloud. You can check that out. We got all of our latest singles and features and shit all up on there. So go check that out as well. But we've just been dropping a lot of music, man. You know what I mean? And really building shit up. And I took a break for a little bit just to kind of get the business side of things together for the label. But now we're about to go on ahead and drop a bomb on them, man. I feel like this new shit that we're recording, this new shit we're putting together, I'm gonna make sure I send you it over just so you can listen to it. It's called Rise of Corleone. It's a monster. And I believe at the end of the year, we're going to be in the top 10, top 5 with this project, with what we got right now, for sure.
Man, please do make sure you send me that one, because I'm definitely interested in checking that out. And a lot of people out there may recall I said this is a lyrical exhibitionist right here that we're talking to, man. So like, if you really love bars and you really love like good content and you love good, stories being told through the music, man, my man King Shampz is definitely one of the artists that you want to go check out, man. And you're definitely one of the hardest working artists right now in the game that I know of, man, because every time I turn around, you putting out something new, or you're putting out one of your new artists, or you're dropping a new project, or you always got something going on, man. So what keeps you motivated to keep grinding, even though like this is a very fickle industry, I should say?
That's a great question, and I appreciate it. To be great, that's what keeps me going, to be great. I look at these guys that are my idols, and I see how they're heralded in the game. To see Jay-Z going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that's why I eventually believe that I'll be. So if I want to be there, then I have to put this work in. You know what I mean? When I look at a Barry Gordy and see what he did with his label, when I look at a L.A. Reid and see what he did with his label, regardless of, you know, all the different shit you can say, these black people still was able to make millions. You know what I mean? From his label, regardless of what you want to say about even a Puff, these black people still had opportunities to make millions with them. So when I look at those guys, they push me to that level to say, well, I got to be there with them and not only get to that level, but to surpass them. So for the next generation, they'll have something to go on ahead and look up to. So it's deeper than rap for me. You know, I know a lot of niggas say that and it sounds cool until you ask them, you know what I mean? Because niggas can tell you anything. Right. You know that. So, you know, I never really want to say anything without merit. I don't want to just say shit to say shit. You know what I mean? Words are very powerful and you got to use them a certain kind of way. But to keep on the answer is greatness, bro. You know, of course you want the money and the fame and the accolades, but it's really chasing your own greatness and being one of those guys. And I feel like what me and my brother have been building in these last couple years is the foundation of that. And everything takes time. You know, there's so much flash in the pan shit going on that we could go from that 2017 to where some of those hottest artists were at. They were out or whatever, and we'll try to see where they're at now type shit. You know what I mean? Like a lot of niggas and bitches just disappeared out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? From that year to now, like they could have been on the charts and now they're not anymore because they didn't lay down a certain kind of foundation. Right. And for better or worse, me and my brother for Dead Wrong Records, we've been building that foundation, and that greatness is something that we chasing every day, man. We on that. That's what motivates us. That's what keeps us fresh. That's what keeps us energized. That's what keeps us hungry. You know what I mean?
That's a great answer right there, man. And you know, you put out a tweet the other day. You said one of your mans, you know, after you mentioned a lot of like, you know, very like influential people just now, it made me go back to this tweet that I seen that you put out there a couple of days ago when you said one of your people said, and you know, a lot of other people within your circle said that you're on the verge of having a 50 Cent level type of run. So like with that being said, like how close do you feel as though you are to achieving that greatness, or do you feel as though you still got a lot of work you got to put in to get to the level of greatness that you're looking to achieve?
Still got a lot of work to put in. I feel like even when you're great and you showed how great you can be, you still have so many more steps to go. You know what I'm saying? You look at guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe, and them guys worked tirelessly in the gym, and they were the best players in the league. You look at somebody like a LeBron James, who's still going at the age he is. That's a phenomenal feat. These guys still keep themselves hungry because they understand that at any moment, if I'm slipping, then the next motherfucker will take the top spot. This is a competitive thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'll never think, even when I get to that position of being on that level of, you know, the 50s, the J's, you know, the Nas's, the Wu, you know, the legend guys, Ice Cubes, whoever, you know, the list can go on and on with the legends that have touched in the game. Busta Rhymes, shout out to him for him getting that honor. Severely underrated.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Those guys understand that, yo, somebody else will take my spot. And then what? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it doesn't mean that none of us can eat or whatever the case may be, but it's just like, yo, like you have to take this shit seriously every day. This is your craft. This is what you have decided to do with your life. So you got to go hard with it every time. So even when I'm at that level, I'm not slowing down. If anything, I'm going to say it's so much more that I can improve on. So I'll never be done. Never be done progressing.
So with that being said, like, you know, how long do you see yourself being in this space? Is this something that you want to continue to pursue for, like, you know, say like the next 5 years? Or is this something that, you know, you want to kind of like build your foundation And then once you get that established, you want to move on to doing the more behind the scene thing and just propping up your artists and getting them out there making dead wrong records a household name.
I think that's great the way you put it. I think honestly, and this is literally, because you're asking me, I got the answer on the spot, right? I honestly will say that I want to have my own run, of course, because every artist wants to have their run. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I built here, and me and my brother have built rather here, is the mantra of Dead Wrong is going to be bosses creating bosses. And what I mean by that is, of course, I'm going to have my shine, he'll have his shine, everybody will have their shine. But we want to be able to be like an incubator for the hustler. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yeah, I'm going to sit behind the scenes and let you do your thing. And even when I may have a project, yeah, I'm going to drop my project and I'm going to get what I need to get out of it. You're damn right. But when your project drops, I'm not fucking your rollout up. When your project drops, you're going to get the exact same marketing and shit that I got as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's going to be that thing where the boss creates the bosses instead of the boss keeping you as a worker, because the thing is, when a boss keep you as a worker, he just want to keep eating. Mm-hmm. Me, I want to eat. You goddamn right. Shit, nigga, I'm hungry. Why can't I get a plate? Mm-hmm. But it's no way for me to sit and stand in the way of an artist's progression or not letting them eat as well. So I'm definitely going to have my run, but, in a couple of years, for sure, I'm definitely going to just play that role, put my suit on, have my nice, Giorgio Armani shit on it, and be sitting in the back somewhere. You know what I mean? Just letting the artist develop and letting the artist shine, for sure.
No doubt about that. And it's very interesting, that mantra and the way you put it, bosses creating bosses, which makes me kind of, wonder and want to ask this next question. Is that the inspiration behind this next project, the title Rise of Corleone? Is that where you got that inspiration from?
Well, you know what? That's a great question. Rise of Corleone. Corleone is what we call our block.
Okay.
So in West Philly, where me and my brother and a lot of our homies, grew up at. And, of course, it's a play on words, The Godfather, one of our favorite movies, one of those things. But the basis of that name comes from my love for studying kings and queens and kingdoms and shit. Like, I'm real big on that, like reading about it, Some of my favorite people I like to read about is like Shaka Zulu and Toussaint Louverture and Dessalines and these guys that were like warlord guys. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? So when I put down the Rise of Corleone, it sounded like some epic shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the rise of something new. This is the rise of the block. This is the rise of the sound, the wave that we're creating. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, this is the rise of it. And then we're going to be following it up, more or less as like a series, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, these are the steps that we're taking. So Rise of Corleone is like, nah, this is the rise of this shit. This is the shit that nobody saw coming. We the underdogs that everybody doubted. Everybody thought we was going to fall. Everybody thought that, shit wasn't going to be the way it needs to be. Mm-hmm. But we've laid down a foundation, and now it's the rise of the shit. It's just like when you see like different, figures in history come out of nowhere, and motherfuckers is like, damn, we had Egypt on lock, and then these niggas come and take this shit. It's like, well, where the fuck was they at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of shit is what I was looking for as far as the title is concerned. I wanted to make it something epic in the way it comes off. It's like Rise of Corleone. It's a powerful kind of sounding title, and that's what I was going for with that.
That's definitely a good, an interesting way that you came up with the name and everything like that. And that being said, for those of you out there who are familiar, or those who are familiar with your work, they know you as a hard-hitting, gritty, lyrical, I don't want to say street rapper, but most of your music does depict the street life and everything. So like, when it comes down to like Rise of Corleone, are we going to see something different? Are we going to see something new that not too many people are familiar with when it comes to King Shampz? Or what can the people expect when they hear this project for the first time?
Well, to be honest, it's definitely something different.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is it's still going to be, you know what it is, to break it down, is something old, something new, some borrowed, some blue, man. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is it's like you're still going to get that same Key and Shampz that's lyrical and spitting that street shit and that hustler shit, because that's where I come from. That's where I'm from. That's who I was at one point in time. So I can only speak about my experiences. You know what I'm saying? And the experiences of others like me from that perspective. When I say something new, I got bangers and radio shit on this shit. Like I got like real life shit on here, not them records where it's like, damn, it's missing this, or damn, it kind of sound nigga, like this shit is hard hitting, it's ready to go now. Like after a nigga will throw an Ice Spice record on, you can throw my record on, and it goes right with it, and it still doesn't lose that integrity of me being an artist, because a lot of guys, as we've seen, will sell their musical integrity for a hit.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? With this, one thing you're going to get on Rise of Corleone is you're going to get confident rapping on each record, but it's showing my versatility. And going back to that tweet when I said the 50 Cent run, 50 Cent was probably the last nigga from the perspective of how this project sounds of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Like being able to have the hooks, have the beats, to still have hard hitting bars, storytelling, and still spitting that street shit while still having that commercial success. He never went against his musical integrity. You know, you got white boys that never ever been in the hood that know many men from top to bottom.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't never done nothing, but he knows that record top to bottom because it crossed over, but he still kept that musical integrity. So to answer the question, to bring it all around, it's going to show a lot of my versatility. You're still going to get that same lyrical content, but you're going to get it delivered in a different way. And the people that have heard it, the industry folks that have heard it, that we're making a lot of moves with, they're excited about the project. They see what's going to go on and hear it happen. So the wave's coming, man. Rise of Corleone is going to open that sound out again, where, you know, when Rockefeller dropped, you know what I mean? And niggas couldn't like stop they run. When Dipset dropped, the niggas couldn't stop they run. You know, most recently when ASAP Rocky and them niggas dropped, niggas really couldn't stop they run.
Right.
So we're coming for a run like that, but I believe it's going to be bigger and better, because I don't think anybody's been able to have that lyrical content that I have. And now we got the hooks, we got the production, and now we're about to go in here and get the big boys behind us. So this shit about to be rocking for sure.
Now you mentioned something that was very interesting just now, and you said musical integrity. And as we look, you know, over the last, you know, decade or so, you know, like you said, we've seen a lot of artists kind of give up their musical integrity in order to get a, you know, a charting hit on the mainstream, you know, on the mainstream platforms and stuff like that nature. Now that we're entering a new era of the music industry now, do you see musical integrity kind of making its way back into the game, or do you still feel like it's a long ways to go before we get to that point?
Man, that's a hell of a question. And I think we would probably have to have 7 more shows to truly answer that motherfucker. For real.
Hey man, that's why I said we got the door open for you, man. So whenever you want to come up here, we can talk, boy.
Listen, we gonna have to, because I feel like I could go on for days with that, where it's a yes and a no answer. And the reason why I say that is because it's so many dope artists on the indie scene that are doing different kind of styles and really putting a lot of time and effort into their work, that I can't say that musical integrity isn't making a comeback. But at the same time, we got some of the goofiest shit that I've ever fucking heard in my life. Like just dropping day in and day out and going viral. And it's like, well, what the fuck? Like, this shit don't even make no sense. Now, I'm not no hater, so I'm not going to hate on you getting a couple of dollars and feeding your family. But you know, like Big said, UPS definitely still hiring, nigga. Like, you know, after the pandemic, it's plenty of jobs. You got the Dunkin' Donuts, you got the motherfucking FedEx, you know, you got Chili's. Hey, I was at the Chili's a couple nights ago, nigga. They need waiters, nigga. You know what I'm saying? They need waiters. So I can't say for sure 100% that all of the musical integrity is back, but I feel like it's enough people like myself and so many other dope artists and platforms such as yours that are bringing back that musical integrity, because it's not only from an artist perspective but from the platform's perspective as well. They're just as goofy as the shit that's getting dropped.
I agree,
because it's like, are we promoting the culture? Are we promoting the artist? Or are we promoting bullshit? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the real dope artists and content creators kind of get thrown by the wayside because of a lot of propaganda and ratings. You know what I'm saying? They know, oh, if I put this goofy ass nigga on here, or we argue about this, or I smack the shit out of this bull with some baby powder, we gonna go viral.
That is like, true.
Like, it's just goofy shit. And it's like, bro, like, this shit is about music. The musical integrity, not only, like I said, bro, starts with the artists, but the platforms as well. So, even right now, us having this conversation is making the culture better, because we both want our platforms and all of our shit to go on and hit and win. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely say that it's a yes and a no, where it's like, yeah, it's getting better, and it's starting to move in a better direction. But then you got so much goofy shit that's just out here, bro, and I'll be like, damn, like you can't say this good. I don't give a fuck what you say. This nigga can't rap, this bitch can't rap.
That's a fact.
Like, they just not good, dog. Like, I mean, come the fuck on. Like, we not just going to act like this shit ain't no bullshit now.
Right.
Somebody got to help me.
That's a fact, man. And you know, and you know, you're right when you say that. Also, when you mention in the platforms, us as, you know, what we call quote unquote gatekeepers and the tastemakers right now in the industry, putting out the music that we know is supposed to be hot, we have to do a better job of that, you know, because you got a lot of platforms out here that they will play, like you say, the goofy shit, because they know it's going to bring in listeners, it's going to bring in the people that, you know, they're going to try to cater to. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know that it's going to get people listening because it's just the goofy shit that everybody likes. Excuse me. And they know in the back of their mind that it's, you know, the music is trash, but they just want to, you know, compromise the integrity of their platform just to get the listeners that coming in. Just like how you got the artists that compromise the integrity of the music that they create because they want to get the listeners, they want to go viral, they want to get people behind them. It's a hand in glove thing when it comes down to the musical integrity of the platforms, and it also comes about to the listeners as well. Stop being so scared to say shit is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, quit giving people a pass for whack shit, because at the end of the day, I think that's another reason why, you know, all this whack shit had the opportunity to take hold like it did, is because people don't want to be called a hater. You're not being called a hater if you just simply say you don't like something, and we need to get back to that.
Yeah, it's called, you know, grow some heart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? For better or worse, one thing I can say, you know, coming from West Philly, and I always tell motherfuckers, you know, if you can truly make it out of here, you can make it anywhere. Because Philly is crabs in the barrel bullshit. Niggas hate all day. Like, that's just what it is. And for better or worse, in New York, I feel New York has some of that same mentality too, but it's so much bigger. And you can say, well, fuck these niggas, I can go way over here. And Philly is like, nah, I can't go way over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. It's a smaller city, you know what I mean? I kind of got to build this shit. And I feel like when you start talking about having that hard enough to say what you need to say, that was something that was embodied in us. Because as you can see, you can look at Philadelphia fans in sports and see how the fuck they act. So you know it ain't about us not saying shit. So I've always been that kind of person where it's like, nah, nigga, like, that shit the way. And it is what it is. Like, the fuck? Like, you're not going to accept that, like, bad service from a Pizza Hut if you pay $30 for it. Why the fuck I got to open up my Instagram while I'm rolling my weed and hearing this bullshit?
That's a fact.
Like, the fuck? Like, so I just, like, you're not going to accept that? Y'all niggas go to Crown Chicken. Y'all want that chicken fried, right? Don't y'all?
Right.
Yeah. Y'all definitely do.
Oh,
so
man.
if, like, you know what I mean? So, like, we, like you said, we got to get out of there. I totally agree, bro.
Yeah, man. See, that's why I love my Philly niggas, man, because, yo, y'all keep it 100%. It doesn't matter if you hurt feelings or not. Y'all keep it true to who y'all are, and you say what's on your mind. You say how you feel about shit, man, and that's how it should be.
100.
No doubt, man. So let me ask you, man. I know this is something right now that, you know, a lot of people have got their eyes on with, you know, when it comes to Philly and a lot of shit, the way that's been going down in Philly, man. How do you feel about the current state of Philly hip hop and just the overall atmosphere right now in Philly?
I feel like with Philly hip hop, it's kind of at a standstill.
Mm-hmm.
And people would probably argue the shit out of me with that, but I wouldn't give a fuck, because outside of the guys that are already established guys in the game, it's a lot of guys in Philly that are just trying to mimic sounds instead of create their own. And I feel like a lot of places, even New York, I feel is having that same issue, where it's like nobody sounds like themselves anymore. Like, Philly don't sound like Philly anymore. You got these niggas sounding like Atlanta niggas.
Yeah.
And for better or worse, he's from Atlanta. He talk like that. Like, the fuck? Like, I'm gonna tell him not to talk the way he was raised?
Right.
Like, I ain't about to do all of that, but I'm damn sure not about to get on here and try to sound like him, and I don't sound like that.
Right.
So I feel like it's kind of an identity crisis going on in the city. Don't get it fucked up. There's still a lot of great talented artists here. I feel like it's a great pool of talent, but I feel like it's misdirected because nobody's willing to step up and say, yo, fuck that, we're going to go in here and create a sound. And that's why I feel like here at Dead Wrong Records, we're kind of bringing back that kind of sound where it's like gangster rap started here, so we're going to do gangster rap. That's what the fuck we going to do. You know what I'm saying? We from West Philly, Schoolie D from West Philly, you know, looking at that Gucci, it's about that time. We've been on that shit. We got to carry on tradition. So I feel like Dead Wrong Records is on the path to moving that identity crisis from these niggas' faces, because it's crazy to me. Like, I'm like, damn, all y'all niggas think y'all from Chicago? Like, the fuck? Like, nigga, I'm not from Chicago. And the thing is, at the end of the day, them niggas is doing their thing.
Right.
Ain't no hate here. That's their culture. That's not mine, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in Philly and a lot of other places, we've got to get back to the roots. We got to get back to the crooks of who we really are. And like I said, Philly's got a lot of talent, but it's too much of an identity crisis going on right now, to keep it honest.
Nah, I truly in 100 totally percent agree with you with that one, man, because I had this conversation not too long ago with a few people, and I was saying, like, you know, people nowadays, you can't determine what region or what city people are from these days. They all sound like, you know, the drill music took off, and now, you know, you got London drill music, you got New York drill music, you got different boroughs out here representing, you know, their own type of drill. You got Brooklyn drill, Bronx drill, then you got, you know, Philly, they on they drilling shit, then you go down to Atlanta, they drilling, everybody's drilling. And there's no disrespect to Chicago or anything like that, because they definitely created a lane for themselves, and they put themselves out there, and they created something, a blueprint that got everybody else following their blueprint. But I miss the days when you can tell a nigga was from Philly, or you can tell a nigga was from Chicago, you can tell a nigga was from New York, you can tell a nigga was from Atlanta or LA or any of these other cities that are popping right now when it comes to music, because everybody had their own sound. So I definitely do agree with you when you said that there's a bit of an identity crisis, but I think a lot of that is also perpetuated because of the way the music industry is. They see a certain sound that everybody's being successful off of, and everybody want that instant gratification, so they're trying to mimic that same sound, even though if they know that that's not what they sound like, that's not what they represent, that whole musical integrity, like you pointed out earlier. You know what I mean?
That's 100% true because the music industry has been doing that shit since back in the day when the California Compton niggas was running it.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Dog made a record called "Fuck Compton," not because he gave a fuck about what Compton was doing or whatever, but he like, yo, like everywhere I go, these niggas got Jerry curls on the loops. Like, if I don't sound like these niggas, like, I'm not gonna get put on. And I could, like I said, you can love it or hate it, but that's where it came from. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, damn, like I can't really be myself. I can't really promote shit the way I want to promote it because the music industry is called the music industry for a reason. It's about money. Right. You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about who does what or who believes in what. It's like, yo, is this selling? Like, if niggas started doing double dutching and hula hooping in videos and that shit started going platinum, then they gonna sign niggas who double dutch and hula hoop. Mm-hmm. That's what they gonna do. And I feel like the thing is, we have to stop blaming the music industry and break the music industry down and start, like I said, that musical revolution where it's like, yo, we shouldn't have these motherfuckers dictate the shit, but we the motherfuckers that create the shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So you right on target with that one for sure.
Man, that's definitely dope, man. And we need, like you said, to start that musical revolution once again, and take back the control of the creativity of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not let a bag or let a trend dictate the way the music is supposed to sound. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get back out there, and it's gonna take for artists and platforms to push real good music, not just putting this bubblegum shit out there that they think that people are going to listen to, and it also is going to come down to the listeners as well. They gotta want that good shit instead of that bubblegum shit that you could dance to.
100.
No doubt. 100. So before we get ready to wrap everything up, man, and this has definitely been a really dope interview, man. I'm glad that we had this chance to have this discussion. But before we get ready to wrap everything up, man, the summer months is heating up, man. We got a whole half a year left. So what can we expect now, once, the Rise of Corleone drops and, all this, everything that gets out there, concerning Dead Wrong Records, what we gonna expect from you going forward for the rest of this year, and what else can we expect in the near and coming future?
Oh, you're about to witness dominance, mm-hmm. and I say that with sincerity, because I know a lot of people just say this shit and don't believe it or say this shit. You be like, niggas be like, shut the fuck up, please. Like, like, don't say that shit and then this shit sound crazy and not in a good way. Mm-hmm. Nah, we've really been putting in a lot of great work. Rise of Corleone is going to be coming out. A project called MGM is going to be coming out with me and my brother Azam, who's producing both projects back to back. Super producer, one of the top niggas in the game right now. Me and him going to do our thing on those projects. And then we're showcasing the label again. We're going to bring back out another Dead Wrong project, and through the summer months we're going to run it up. In the next couple of weeks, look out for West Philly 187. That's going to be one of the singles off of Rise of Corleone. We actually just shot the video with New Vegas Films. We just sat down with him and chopped it up and really put together a great visual. So that's going to be one of the things that kind of lead it off for the rest of the summer, and it's going to be a dominant summer for us, a dominant rest of the year, where we're going to be putting the pressure on them to the point where it's going to be like, yo, like, these niggas ain't slowing down, and they not no fluke. Like, once people hear Rise of Corleone and really delve into that and hear how crazy that project is, you know how hating motherfuckers be. Oh, yeah. Oh man, that's good, but can they? Nah, nigga, we can do it again and again and again. You saw Jordan keep dropping 50, nigga. We gonna keep dropping 50 on him.
I hear
every
that,
time. Every time. So we ready, bro. We ready, man. And again, bro, I appreciate you so much for having me on. again, it's been a while. I really appreciate the opportunity. Just wanted to let you know that again, man.
Oh man, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity of getting to have this conversation with you, man. It's been a long time in the making, and like I said, man, we got to make this more common than just let another 5 years go past and I don't get to holler at you again until like we are both practically doing other things at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now we gonna have to keep in contact a lot more and stay in the loop for sure. We got to.
No doubt, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my homie right here, King Shampz, man. We are definitely delighted. And it was a privilege and an honor to have the conversation with you here today and have you come on to this platform. Once again, we thank you, for sharing your music, sharing your insight, and sharing, the way you think about the music industry right now and your music with us and all that good stuff, man. So for everybody else out there that's listening right now, if they would like to get in contact with you, if they would like to go, get that Rise of Corleone when they get ready to drop and they want to check out more of your catalog, man, how can they make that possible?
Oh, word. Again, man, I thank you again for having me on. You can follow me on Twitter as well as Instagram. I'm active on both platforms at King Shampz, KINGSHAMPZ. That's on Twitter as well as Instagram. You can go on to SoundCloud and check out the latest singles from Dead Wrong Records. Just put in Dead Wrong Records on SoundCloud. All the new shit will pop up. And the last project that's got crazy music on there. And I sent you a couple of the tracks from the project of Dawn of the Dead, Crazy Records. That's on all platforms. Again, it's called Dawn of the Dead by Dead Wrong Records. I'm on there as well as a lot of the label mates that's on there. Shout out to my man Def Soldier who was on there. Pretty Bully. They're definitely killing shit on the underground with us as well, and they getting out the underground with us too, man. They got a lot of great big shit on the horizon, so go check that project out. And yeah, Rise of Corleone's gonna be dropping soon. Look out for West Philly 187. I'm gonna be posting the short clips and all of that shit on there once everything gets chopped and screwed and edited the right way. And follow me, like I said, on Instagram at King Shampz, KINGSHAMPZ, and the same on Twitter, man. Go follow your boy. Go check out the movement. This is some legendary shit, man, so you don't want to miss it.
No doubt, man. And once again, we appreciate your time for coming through here and rocking out with us. And to everybody else out there, keep it locked and stay tuned because we about to get into some of them King Shampz records up next here on the show. So keep it locked. It's your boy Emilio Whiteball, and we'll be back with much more right after this. Want to be heard on the Nonstop Radio Show? Send us your submissions in MP3 format at Let's Network Musically 212@gmail.com.
This is Nonstop Radio.